What is up, Mad Mob? We are closing in. I am here with the boys, Begley and Goni, myself.
Let's go.
Closing in. We've already got football. We've already got a taste of football in the NCAA world. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Already won some money on some bets. Me and Begley were in attendance at UK's home opener, watching them mollywop Miami, Ohio. Good times,
I won
boys.
100 beans off it.
Even college football. Big college football fan. I don't think Goni is, but me and Begley are big college guys.
Big college guys.
Just it's awesome to just see competitive football again. None of this preseason stuff. None of this holding players back stuff. Just hard-nosed competitive football. Truck sticks are back. Fumble rooskies are back. TDs are back. It's a beautiful time of year.
Man, you know what's back? SEC. It just means more. SEC dominated this weekend. Except for LSU. I'm watching it. They're down 7 right now in the fourth. They're playing Florida State.
Well, that's what they get
Brian
for firing
Kelly's first year.
Ed Orgeron. Can't fire him.
Tell me you wouldn't run through a wall for that guy.
Absolutely. He brought y'all a national title like a year before you all fired him. What in the world?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
It don't matter. That's
Clyde
his team.
Edwards-Helaire.
That's his team. It don't matter.
Okay. Doesn't matter.
It's his team. He put it together. That's what he gets.
One of the best quarterbacks.
All right, let's pivot to the football world. Have a few things that have happened. Brian Robinson got shot. He's going to be okay, so that's a good thing. Now that we know he's going to be okay, we can pivot to how that affects Antonio Gibson's fantasy relevance. Are any of you all happier to have Antonio Gibson on your team, or do you think it's just he'll just be semi-serviceable for a little bit? I mean,
it opens the door for sure. Gibson was getting ready to lose the job. I think it actually even came out that Brian Robinson was going to be the starter. And then, unfortunately that happens for him in a carjacking.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be out for an undisclosed amount of time. And it just opens the door a little bit for Gibson to retain the starting role till whenever he gets back. We don't know how long. I don't know how long it takes to heal from gunshot wounds.
It might be he got shot in the butt too, dude. It might be an eye opener. Right? Gibson lost his role. He might be like, oh crap, I gotta take this serious, Beggs,
and just show out, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
Man, everything they've done in the offseason, though, man, drafting Brian Robinson, paying J.D. McKissick, I'm blanking on the head coach's name, Ron Rivera. Came out and compared the situation to Carolina with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. I think they're just kind of over him, man. I don't know why. I thought he was good when he played, but they're just ready to part ways, I think.
Yep.
It's another chance. For Gibson, really. So
he's got to take it serious this time or get out. Yep. Jimmy G re-signed, the highest paid backup quarterback. How's this make y'all feel about Trey Lance?
Same. He's the starter. He's the guy. It's his team, 100%.
I think it's more of an indictment of Jimmy G. Why isn't anybody taking a flyer on?
Who needs him?
A lot of teams did need him. I just don't know. I'm curious kind of what kind of money he was demanding.
I think it was the trade. They didn't want to probably take on a lot of his contract early on. They were a little, wary of the surgery. He had surgery in the offseason at the worst of times when, free agency opened up. Everyone grabbed their quarterback. No one's got hurt since, and they just couldn't find a deal. They needed to free up some of this cap space, so they restructured the contracts to make both sides happy, and now they have honestly one of the better backups in the league.
Yeah. Probably the best. Right?
It's fair.
Yeah, I think he's the best.
That's right there. That's probably fair.
All right, this episode, Mad Mob, we are doing a good one. It's a good one. We are doing the Doink review. A lot of Doinks have been made in the off season. Our pride is heavily on the line, and it's a tightrope. And we need to go through it to understand where we are at, and so you all understand where we're at as well. We gotta. I think we're gonna go over our crap fantasy teams that we picked up. Go over our rosters with that. Yeah, this is just gonna be an episode just standing our ground, right? Standing our ground.
Yeah, man.
Essentially,
admitting when we made a bad one. I mean,
that's the thing, man. Things change, right? In like the fantasy season, it's like I could feel great about a guy 2 months ago, but due to some circumstances, I could feel terrible now. So I'm kind of dreading seeing the ledger personally.
Yeah, it's like the way too early rankings, except we actually have our pride on the line for this, and we like begrudgingly have to stick with it.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's a miserable situation to be in for making doink bets very early and then bad things happening in the meantime, or just plain out falling out of love. I know, and I'll just go ahead and bring this one up for an example because this is a doink bet I had with somebody that's not on the show, so I don't think we'll be covering it. I made a doink bet that Antonio Gibson would have a better fantasy year than CEH months ago. And of
even
course,
last football season, I think it was.
It was last football season.
Late in the year.
Yeah, and I made it for this year, and obviously I loved it up until they drafted Brian Robinson, and then Brian Robinson took the role, and I was like, oh, crap. And then Brian Robinson got shot, and I'm like, okay, there's hope again. So it's been a roller coaster, so there's probably going to be situations like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna. Goni is the keeper of the books. So I'm going to pass it off to him. He's going to tell us the doink bets, who it's between, and we'll give our thoughts on them. And we'll just I don't know. Do we want to? Man, I'm trying. No. I'm trying to make doinks over doinks. That's ridiculous.
No,
it's doinkception. Okay, forget it.
Yeah, doinkception. Exactly.
My B. Goni, take it away. Hit us with some doinks that we got.
The season hasn't even started yet, boys, and we have 29 doinks on the ledger. So we have a whole lot of football.
We're a prideful group.
Yeah, we're gonna get together and talk about football in the meantime, and things are gonna come up where we disagree. Oh, I think they're gonna wear red jerseys. I think they're gonna wear white jerseys. Put a doink on it. Yeah, exactly. That's how we get down, Mad Mom. But all right, going all the way back to episode 1. Goni versus Beggs. Who will have the better fantasy finish? The first doink on the ledger. Christian Watson, your boy Goni, versus John Mechie, Beggs. I mean, looking back on it now, I know Beggs wants out, but I need just one reception, one rushing yard, one anything from Christian Watson, and this is a layup. This is a layup for me. I liked the better offense to start. I like it now, even given the unfortunate circumstances. And sorry about your luck.
I mean, this was a great doink on my part. Christian Watson has been injured, hasn't practiced all preseason, didn't play any games. Aaron Rodgers is hyping up everybody else but Christian Watson. He might not see the field this year, but he will get one bubble screen for 1 yard. And I will be furious about it.
I don't even need a yard. I literally I can have -9 yards on one reception, and I'll still win.
It's a little, how do I say it? Distasteful that you'd be willing to leave this one on the ledger, but it is what it is.
It's all about pride, man. It's the first one of the year. It's got to go down. So
donate your first paycheck to Good Samaritan.
It should be noted that we already have a doink that's been made and completed and a victor crowned.
Oh, I was going to get to it when we, I'm just going in order here.
In order of when they were made. Like we're following the timeline.
I have dates and everything. I have the dates.
My bad. Hey, take it away. I don't think I need to really comment on that one. I mean, I'll take the guy that'll be playing this year. Thoughts and prayers out to John Mechie, of course, but obviously he's not going to be putting up too many fantasy points this year. But we wish you a great recovery and hope to see you in uniform ASAP.
Yeah, he's supposed to play next year, so nothing but the best for him, honestly.
Yep.
We made actually a second one, Beggs. Episode 1 was hot for us, dude. Better fantasy finish. Drake London, Goni, versus Traylon Burks, Beggs. I know Wayne loves himself some Traylon Burks. We have a doink bet on that as well. I think that one will probably be a little closer. I'm just hoping to PPR you to death.
Yeah,
What do you think?
man. After all the preseason things we're hearing about Traylon Burks, he's had some nagging injuries. There's more hype coming out about Kyle Phillips, the rookie out of UCLA who's playing the slot. I'm a little nervous about it. I'm not gonna lie. Little nervous.
I mean, I still feel pretty good about it. I'd take Drake London again in this one just because they don't have anyone else. It's, Kyle Pitts and no one. Mariota's actually looked halfway decent through the preseason, but of course it's just practice. We're talking about practice.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Wayne, where you go with this one?
I'd hate to be in this one. I'd hate to be in this one because my heart tells me Traylon Burks, but my brain tells me Drake London.
Yeah.
I feel like Drake London's just going to be a massive. He's just going to hoard a massive target share there. So yeah, I think I go with Drake London there if I had to, but I think it's very close.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Moving on, Beggs. Again, we had the first three, man. We had the first three. This was prior to episode 3, where I believe we started our running back rankings. The bet was, will Aaron Jones be an RB1 in 2022? Goni said no. Beggs said yes. Personally, I mean, I'm sure you like it still. I've warmed up to Aaron Jones a whole lot. I would take this one back if I could get a mulligan on it. I just like the PPR value that he's going to bring to the table, and it's really about it, man. I had him ranked too low, and we're gonna update rankings next year. We're gonna start them early, and update throughout the preseason and whatnot. But I would certainly like to take this one back.
Yeah, that's the thing, Mad Mob. I was super high on Aaron Jones in the offseason. We did our running back rankings like back in May, maybe early June at the latest. And there's a lot of shakeups. I think I had Aaron Jones at 3. Do I think he's going to be a top 3 now? No. But do I think he's going to be middle of the pack RB1? I do. So I think this is a slam dunk for Begley. But yeah, like Goni said, that's something we're going to do next year. We're going to come out with our rankings early, and they're going to constantly be evolving. We just kind of let them sit. We did our ranking episodes and let them sit. And we're not going to do that next year. It's going to be an ever evolving thing. As you'll see as this episode goes on.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that's a slam dunk for Beggs, and I'm salty that he got it. Why did he get it and I didn't get it when I was on the Aaron Jones train?
It's a perfect segue to the next one because episode 3 on air, this one, we got into it, I'm sure, just like we do with anything, and we took the averages of ours, and it looked like the average was RB9, so the Doink bet is Aaron Jones fantasy finish, running back 8 or better, Wayne, running back 10 or worse, Goni.
I'm good with it.
I'm okay with it. I don't feel great, but I feel a little bit better than, will he be
12.
an RB1?
Losing 4 more spots.
I have at least 10, 11, 12, man.
Yeah, I mean, our RB10 last year, only about 4.5 yards a carry. But he got 65 targets. That's probably going to be closer to 80 this year, right?
He's going to get a ton.
Yeah.
He's going to get a ton.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. We moving on to episode 4. I think this is our RB2 rankings looking at the Doink bet. This one is a slam dunk for me. It's me against Wayne on this one.
Oh, brutal.
Javonte Williams. Running back 18 or better for Goni. Running back 19 or worse for Wayne. How you feel about it now?
I don't feel terrible about it.
Man.
I don't feel bad
how you
about
feel
that.
About it? Which side of the fence?
That's his ADP. He's like RB 17, 18.
I've always agreed with Wayne on Javonte in the sense in the sense that you don't bring, the running shares are going to go down with Russell Wilson. I mean, I think the running splits are going to be probably 55-45 past the run. And so, it just depends on how much Melvin's going to vulture from that.
I think he was the RB17 last year in a complete 50-50 split. Personally, I still like it. There's no way I think he finishes 19 or worse.
I understand what you're saying is Russell makes a more successful offense, giving him more opportunities. But I just feel like there's going to be more opportunities, yes, but they're going to be passing opportunities. I don't know.
He can catch.
I don't hate this one. I definitely don't think it's a slam dunk for you.
My favorite Javonte stat is Javonte Williams had the same fantasy points per game last year as Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Ooh.
Just let that marinate. He's a volume play.
All right, you say points per game, but also Clyde Edwards-Helaire I don't think played nearly half the games that Javonte played.
But that's the beauty of the stat. It disregards injuries.
Okay, I like your cherry picking.
No, I think that's a better indicator of fantasy success, right? I mean, points per game. If you play, you're fan. I mean, to me, that's a great stat. I'm throwing it out there.
I don't know, dude. I feel good about it because there's some other guys that are like coming out of the woodworks that are like getting a lot of love. Like I know it's kind of counterproductive to like what I've been saying about Aaron Jones, but they're saying A.J. Dillon's a guy that could be an RB2. Ramondre Stevenson is getting a lot of love, and then Dameon Pierce is coming out of nowhere saying, boom, he has RB2 fantasy value because he's going to be the only guy there. So I'm just thinking there's some guys that are coming out of the woodwork that could possibly leapfrog them that nobody saw before.
I want to take this opportunity to give a monster shout out to Beggs, by the way. He made room for me on the Dameon Pierce bandwagon. And
that's good over.
I'll forever be grateful, sir. I've been scooping him up everywhere I could in these last few drafts I've had over the weekend. And I appreciate it, man. Drive us into the sunset on the bandwagon here.
Yeah, man. He is my early favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He just didn't get used at Florida. The college production was there. He just doesn't have enough of it, to have a great
fresh legs.
That's fine though. Yeah, that's how you find the gems, man.
Exactly. Yep.
This next one up here is actually the first bet that does not involve me. It's our sixth one. It was episode 4 on air as well, the RB2 show. Travis Etienne, running back 27 or better. Wayne, running back 28 or worse for Beggs. How you feel about it, boys?
Phenomenal. Slam dunk.
27, Beggs. 27.
Yeah, I mean,
or better.
I would have loved a little context on why I made this bet because I'm fading all running backs with Achilles injuries. So I think that's his backfield. I mean, he's coming off the list, Frank. I mean, I don't know, man. After doing some research, Trevor Lawrence checks down more than any other quarterback in the league. I think
it's a major injury, though. So we've heard it's a major injury.
That's the only thing I can think of that would lead me there on that Doink. I think I may have just been prideful, but he's with captain check down in a pass first offense. That's a lock for Wayne. Daggone it.
Fair enough.
I think I remember that one. So I have a strategy, Mad Mob. If like I have a huge disagreement with somebody, I think this is what happened with Begley. I think he had him at like 32, and I had him at like 20 or something like that, and I said meet in the middle. You know what I mean?
That's what it was. That's what it was. The injury that I was fading him just because to have that kind of injury, people don't come back from it traditionally. But he had a new innovative surgery technique. He was one of the first in the league to ever use it. I'm sure he's going to come back better than ever.
New techniques, surgical techniques. Very nice. If you want to remember and find the context, it's on the Running Back 2 show, sir. You can go back, listen. We kind of just throw these out there sometimes and then forget about them. That's why I record every Doink we ever have here.
And that's why this episode's necessary.
Oh, absolutely. Episode 6, this one was. It looks like probably a wide receiver show. Goney versus Wayne. Who will have the better fantasy finish? Darnell Mooney, Goney. Amari Coops for Wayne.
Ouch.
I feel great about this one. I feel so good about this one. And you know what's also good about this and making the Doinks and looking back on them? These are kind of guys we planted our flag on at the time, and then, life happens and things move on, and we look back at
suspensions get increased and more sexual allegations and
man.
Yeah. And that's why our rankings need to be ever evolving, like they will be next year. Yeah, I'm not so confident on this one.
Nah, it's understandable. We'll move on now. There's not a whole lot to say on that one. That one I feel excellent about, barring injury.
Is that the biggest slam dunk Non-John Mechie, non-cancer related
Uh,
so far, probably.
We'll see. We're only 7 in, probably. Let's give that one the crown and then see if it needs to be taken away as we progress. Same show. It was Beggs versus Wayne. Michael Thomas, wide receiver 2 finish, yes or no? Wayne says yes. Beggs says no. How you feeling about him?
I like it.
I'm terrified for that bet. Honestly, I'm glad I had no part of that. I think I was even asked, and I no thank you. No thank you.
I like it, but I'm not going to be surprised if he doesn't. It just depends if he can get his head out of his butt. He's got the talent.
Yeah. Wayne and I just flipped a coin on this one, man. I mean, if he plays 17 games, he's probably a wide receiver 2. Probably. We'll see. I like my chances.
If he gets his head out of his butt and he plays football, he's in a position. He's got the talent. He's got the offense to be a wide receiver 2 easily. Yeah, but it's a coin flip.
This next one is another coin flip as well. It looks like it was on the tight end show. As we were doing our rankings, you boys had a heated debate, I'm sure, over the Andrews-Kelsey.
Yes.
Who has the better fantasy finish this year? Wayne says Andrews, Beggs said Kelsey, and I'm glad I had no part of this one either because that's a coin
slam
flip.
dunk. Slam dunk.
Love it. I couldn't be more confident in this one. I'd like to roll it back to make it double the doink.
I would happily accept.
No, we're not doing 2x doinks on the same bet here. Double
but just
doink.
know I'm uber confident in this one.
Andrews is due for some regression, especially touchdowns. And
You're going to talk about
old.
regression and talk about Mark Andrews?
I said
Travis Kelce was due for regression 2 years ago.
That tells you how elite he is, my friend.
Man, yeah, I don't know. Beggs, we also had a bet on the tight end episode. I feel a little better about this one. Better fantasy finish, Robert Tonyan or Pat Freiermuth, MVP?
I took Freiermuth, right?
You did, yeah, absolutely.
I love it, dude. Tonyan's a blocker. He's touchdown dependent.
He's going to score all the touchdowns, though. I feel excellent about it. And you can get him in the 174th round in your fantasy draft.
You can. Joseph DeGuara is the pass catching tight end. Tonyan, he'll be in there to block first. I love it.
DeGuara. I love that one for you.
Is it DeGuara?
Yeah, is that how you say it?
I don't even know, bro. I don't even know who we're talking about right now, but I love it.
Just Begley's weird pass catching stat aside, I don't love that one for you.
I love it.
It's touchdowns and everything. I just like the offense. This one actually might take over for the slam dunk of the ledger. Goni versus Beggs. This is in the Q&A 2 episode. More total real NFL points. Goni has the Bills. Give me that. And you took the Raiders, Beggs.
I did. And Wayne, I know which side you're on this one, but I had to put my money where my mouth is. I'm high on Oakland. I think Josh McDaniels has probably one of the top five offensive weapons.
No.
I think what's going to hold Raiders back to their offensive line. I wish I could walk this one back, but I had to walk it like I talked it on this one.
You know what's going to hold him back? Probably Derek Carr, honestly.
No, I like Derek Carr. He'll be fine.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. I love it though. I feel like that one's the slam dunkiest of slam dunks.
I remember too. Last year, Las Vegas kicked the most field goals of any team in the NFL and made more field goals than any team in the NFL. That's how big the gap was. They're going to convert some of those drives to touchdowns.
All right, and they'll also be missing out on 3 on a lot of those drives as well.
Yeah.
We'll see. This next one we had, it was during our first mock draft. It was Goni versus Wayne. Better fantasy finish. I took Mike Williams. Wayne took Deandre Johnson.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like that's pretty even for the most part. I expect Mike Williams to dominate, to be honest with you, but the inconsistency that we saw last year, if that kind of rears its ugly head around this year, then I feel like it'd be a lot closer than it should be.
Listen, George Pickens is scaring people in the preseason. I feel like Deandre Johnson's not going to have all of the safeties over top waiting for him if George Pickens keeps scaring people like he is. Freiermuth is taking the linebackers over. Deandre Johnson, dude, I planted my flag on him last year. I still love him. He got a new contract. They're going to use him. We talked about it. That Pittsburgh doesn't pay their wide receivers. They just make them look phenomenal and then let them go off into the sunset. So the fact that Mike Tomlin re-signed this man, I feel good about it.
I'm all over Goney's side on this one. I'll give me Mike Williams all day here. Deandre Johnson's closer to wide receiver 3 for me than a wide receiver 1.
Okay. I like it. I think Mike Williams crushes, and I love the offense. Our Q&A episode 3, Beggs versus Wayne. We might see a little discrepancy on how you guys feel when it was made. Will Tua finish within 3 spots of Lamar? Wayne says yes. Beggs says no.
Let's go. I love it. Take it to the bank, baby.
What are you thinking over there, Wayne? How you feeling about it? He's trying to hype himself up right now. He's Eminem 8 Mile.
No. Because when you drop out of the top 6 out of that tier 1, tier 2 level, it really is close. So Lamar might outscore Tua by 60 points, but he still might be within 3 positions.
Agreed.
When you get out of that. So I mean, you've got 12 quarterbacks that are typically starting for a fantasy team if it's not a super flex. Lamar and Tua are both starting. You got to think like you got your Joe Burrows, your Justin Herberts, your Josh Allens, your Pat Mahomes, right? Those are your top 4. And then what? Your fifth is Lamar.
That's basically what you have to go off of.
Your fifth is Lamar, and then who are you looking at?
Kyler, Dak.
Jalen Hurts. Brady or Rodgers could be
Matt
in there.
Matt Stafford.
No, nobody's taking
Derek Carr. If you're Beggs, Derek Carr could be in there.
I don't hate it. Once because a lot of points can separate 3 positions. I'm not saying Tua is going to be just as good as Lamar, but a lot of points can be within those 3 positions.
That's fair.
Baltimore is running the ball this year, man. That's an easy win for me. Easy win.
This next one looks like it's gonna. There's no telling when we're gonna see who wins. Wayne versus Beggs. I don't even remember how this came about, and it's extra dumb. Who scores more points for the rest of their career? Wayne took Will Fuller, who's not on a team, and Beggs took Calvin Ridley, who is on a team but not playing.
That's a lock, dude. That's an absolute lock. I can't wait to take Wayne's money.
That's the most incredible thing ever right there. Let's pick 2 guys who aren't playing, argue about it, and put a doink on who's going to have more points for the rest of their career. I love it.
That was a real life argument in the league that I whooped Begley in 3 times in a single season. He's got Calvin Ridley. I've got Will Fuller. I just we took personal vendettas onto the show and argued about it.
Oh,
that's a lock, man. That's a lock for me. Easy win.
That's good stuff.
I've got a clean sweep on Wayne right now. I feel real good about it.
Hopefully you put him in the cellar here with all the doinks.
No, the ETN is in the running for slam dunk king.
Let's get back to something that's actually going to be relevant and matter this year.
Dunk king.
This is Goney versus Beggs fantasy finish. I gave him a 20-point handicap. I have Gabe Davis. Beggs has Brandon Ayuk plus 20 points for who will score more at the end of the year. I still feel good about it.
I'm pretty sure I went on a tirade about how much I hate Brandon Ayuk during that episode, so I'm not going to do it again. But I hate Brandon Ayuk.
How do you feel, Beggs?
At the time, I'm sure there was the Debo controversy, right? Like, was he going to be re-signed? Was he not? So I think I rolled the dice there. Was hoping Debo wasn't going to come back. I don't hate it in the sense that let's see Gabe Davis do it in the regular season. He had a nice playoff run. If he fills into the Emmanuel Sanders role, I like my chances.
he's the undisputed number 2. That man will absolutely destroy any production Emmanuel Sanders ever had. He's going above and beyond. This man, Gabe Davis for MVP.
We haven't seen it yet. That's your projection. I respect it. I like Gabe Davis too. But if he fits into the Emmanuel Sanders role, that's been in that offense now for 2 years, I like my chances. If he does
I'll
more
put
than that,
I'll put a doink that Gabe Davis outscores what Emmanuel Sanders did last year.
I'm not going to take a doink on that. I'm just trying to.
Then that tells you how he feels
winning
about the doink.
bet.
You're welcome, Goni. I got us to the end of that road quickly.
It's fine. It's fine. I know it's going down. Gabe Davis for MVP.
I'm trying to get my doink numbers up, Mad Mob. I think I'm like 3 short of the lead.
I'll give the review at the end. I should have started with it. I have how many we each have and against each other. However, on our Lay of the League episode, this is the layup of the year right now. Lay of the League episode between Beggs and I. Who will have the better fantasy finish? Justin Fields? Your boy Goni has Justin Fields. Or Zach Wilson? Ugh.
That's so frustrating. Yeah, Begley is just feeding Goni. Begley's Goni's gonna be the doink king at the end of the year because Begley has done nothing but absolutely feed him layups. That's frustrating.
That's not true at all. I like this bet. Now the Zach Wilson injury is going to hurt me in week 1. He's already confirmed. So I'm going to need Justin Fields to have a DNP at some point this year to even the odds. I like the bet, man. Wilson has 5 times the amount of weapons Fields has got on that Chicago offense, and probably 5 times the offensive line too.
And Justin Fields has 5 times the mobility. He can probably outscore Zach Wilson with his rushing alone in a couple games this year.
But yet he didn't do it last year. Interesting.
He played one less game also. He played one less game, and
Well, hang on a second. Let's just go to our trusty dusty fantasy points per game stat that we can always rely on. No.
It doesn't matter. Anyone that's listening to this, any single person that happens to fill their ears with these airwaves right now is going to be on my side. It's just facts. You don't have a single supporter on the Zach Wilson camp, I promise.
Zach Wilson, 12.5 fantasy points per game last year. Justin Fields, 11.4.
Bro, Zach Wilson's mama wouldn't make that bet.
I like the bet.
Okay. All right.
I like the bet.
I look forward to taking that from you. And
don't use Zach Wilson and moms in the same sentence, dude. It's dangerous.
Oh man, yeah. Right over my head. 100% right though. Anyways, moving on. A Goni versus Wayne bet on the draft we did out of the 12 spot episode. This one is terrible. This one is absolutely terrible. This is one where I got locked in. I was bamboozled and swindled, and it shouldn't even be there. But I'm a man of my word, and I took it. And it was one has to have a better fantasy finish than Michael Gallup. And my options are Tyler Lockett, Kadarius Toney, and Christian Kirk. I forgot the.
You got 3 players, man. You got 3 players. I got 1.
Get out of here.
They're in the same ADP.
Get out of here.
They're in the same ADP range.
Swindled, asterisk, all the things. All the things.
Slam dunk.
I would have liked Goni's side. I would have liked Goni's side more before Gallup's going to be ready week 2 for sure.
Man. Moving on. Same episode. Goni versus Wayne. The first win of the season. Hopefully, probably his only win of the season, actually.
Would you like to put a doink on that?
No, I'm good. You do have a couple layups against Beggs. Did Goni say Mechie on the 12 spot draft? Nothing to do with football at all. We're just so competitive. Our friendship is really like this. Did Goni say Mechie? Yes or no?
Bob, if you haven't watched it, YouTube the Broken Phones and Egos episode and see what happened with that one. But yeah, so I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0 this year already. Goni's 0-1, and the world is good.
And the world is just there. It's not
and
good.
It's good.
The Doink that realm or anything. Same thing. I got suckered into this one too. 12 spot draft. Like this one was extra hot for Doinks, and I was bamboozled and swindled into all of them. Who has more fantasy points? Goni has Brady and Lockett. Gross. Yeah, anything with Tyler Lockett, just take that one to the trash. And Wayne has Derek Carr and Michael Gallup. It's
Let's go.
It's noted. It's noted in here that this was the episode, as Wayne said. If you didn't catch it, go back and watch it. Wayne ran over his phone to uphold this bet.
Let's go.
Like with
Dude,
his
is that an episode
destroyed.
where I could go 3-0 on Doinks? Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gone. What were you thinking that episode, man? What were you thinking?
I was bamboozled and swindled.
He wasn't bamboozled. He said some stuff, and I asked him to stick to what he said, and this is what happens.
Oh, I remember. I remember what it was now. It was the Goni. I laid out the terms of the bet. Wayne didn't hear, and basically, Beggs always agrees with Wayne, so I got majority ruled on and had to uphold it. But I uphold it. It's fine. Moving on. Doink bet number 20 here.
That was a good episode.
It was on Q&A 5. Beggs versus Goni. Will Hollywood finish as a wide receiver 2? I said no. Beggs said yes. Wow. How are we feeling about it, Wayne?
I think it's very possible that he doesn't finish as a WR2. I've never been on the Hollywood train. It's gone past me. It's done several laps by me, and every time like I stick my toe out like I want to jump on it, but I can't.
Oh,
I haven't drafted him in a single league. I just don't want him. We did a double Doink bet here. You actually hopped on this as well. We each have the same bet against Beggs on this one, so he could go 0-2.
I can't wait,
good.
man.
Okay.
I've gone and linked about Hollywood. Wide receiver 2 last year with Lamar and Tyler Huntley. I'm all over Hollywood Brown this year, man. Although I don't have him in any leagues, I can't quite get him, which is interesting.
Yeah, I wonder why you think he's going to be so good, and yet you just can't get him.
People keep reaching for him.
I've never seen anybody reach for him.
That's not anything you ever hear. Oh man, he reached for Hollywood Brown. Everyone wants that.
You know who I've snagged in 2 different leagues this year though?
D-Hop. Yep, I've seen it.
Gross.
I've seen it.
I'll take the suspension and all the volume.
Hard fade for me.
All right, moving on here. Beggs is going to go 0-2 on that one for sure.
No.
Q&A 6 episode. Wayne and Beggs got into it over who they felt had the worst offense in the league in terms of points. Wayne says the Texans will have the worst offense in the league. Beggs says the Bears will have the worst offense in the league.
Slam dunk.
That's an easy win for me.
Slam dunk.
No, stop it. I'm a slam dunk king.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's Davis Mills doesn't get as much credit as he deserves. I thought he actually did a pretty good job last year, given the circumstances. But Justin Fields is way better than Beggs thinks he is. So
he didn't show it last year. Was he just hiding it, or just waiting till this year to show it?
He was a rookie, man. He was a rookie. These things
worst graded quarterback in the league last year by Pro Football Focus, by far.
It's a new year.
You can argue with him if you want.
You know what? PFF can at me on Instagram or at the podcast, and we'll discuss
there we go.
it. All right, we'll discuss it because that man he's not the worst. Have you seen Zach Wilson? So that's really all I got to say. That's all I have to say to him on that. You know what? I haven't played the new Madden or anything. Have you, Beggs? Who's rated higher in the Madden? Do you know?
I don't. I haven't played, man. I'm on a strike. They need to update the game.
Fair enough.
All right. Hang on.
Yeah.
I will Google it because that's actually a good question.
Yeah,
not that Madden ratings or anything, because I've seen some egregious Madden ratings.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious. Before he tells us, what do you think, Beggs? Are we talking like a 75 to 73 here as far as the ratings go?
Yeah, they're both mid-70s. That's a good call. Definitely both mid-70s.
It's not going to be anything crazy, obviously. But
yeah.
The awareness of like a 62.
Speed. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Fields is probably 83 speed. Wilson's probably got 78 speed.
Wilson's probably got the power, but he's got no accuracy. You know.
He was more accurate than Fields last year. Interesting.
I mean, 51% compared to 50.8% is, a lot more accurate. You're right. It is. Wayne, how are we looking over there, Bubba?
I'm scrolling through, having to go to a couple pages back here.
You're good. Do your thing. I'm going to move on to the next one.
Can I interject here, though? I think that's an easy win for me because the Bears' schedule.
Justin Fields is rated higher.
What were the ratings?
74 to Zach Wilson, 73.
Oh, I was close.
But what needs to be noted here is Justin Fields' accuracy is a higher rating than Zach Wilson by 3. Accuracy.
Does that need to be noted? They're probably both in the 60s.
No, Justin Fields has a 91 accuracy.
Oh.
He's
get some.
He is, oh gosh. His accuracy is rated better than Aaron Rodgers, Joe Burrow.
There we go. That's all we need to
Dak
say.
Prescott.
Yourself right there. Goni, I'm going to throw one more tidbit in here, man. The Bears' schedule is awful. I mean, they have a horrible schedule this year.
Can I make a quick note real quick?
Yeah.
A note on his note. Go ahead.
Acceleration was what I was reading, not accuracy.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. So Justin Fields accelerates quickly, faster than Aaron Rodgers.
Belittling Madden, saying that he has a higher accuracy.
I did see that. So I saw it in comparison to Zach Wilson, and they were really close, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And then everybody on this page is like Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, and he was like one of the higher, and I was like, okay, also makes sense. And then when I went to the first and saw it, okay. Acceleration,
Man.
not accuracy.
Who knew?
Why do we care about acceleration as a quarterback? Why wouldn't accuracy be like the number one thing that you're looking for? I'm not a big Madden guy, but
it's just they just have the stock stat splits that they use every year.
Yeah, weird. Doesn't really matter. Either way.
Onward.
Next one, Wayne versus Beggs. This is when we did our breakdown of the AFC and NFC East divisions. Who will have the better fantasy finish? Wayne took Garrett Wilson, and Beggs took Elijah Moore. A couple of Jets here.
That's
I still
a lot
feel,
for me.
Yeah, I feel good about it. I think this is Beggs all day. Still,
it's a lot.
100%.
It's the Jets. Yeah. It's the Jets. It could be Zach Wilson's best friend's mom.
Lockiest of the locks.
It's the Jets offense, dude.
Okay, well, Elijah Moore was great last year. Great.
Well,
great.
This one, this next one, it was great. Also in the East Division show. It was also in the East Division show. I found that I accidentally put it against Beggs, and it was against Wayne. It was me against Wayne, and the bet was, will Wayne finish first in Doink bets? I said no, and Wayne said yes. Again, nothing to do with football at all.
Slam
and I
dunk.
have the field.
Slam dunk.
I have the field. So
slam dunk.
I feel really good about that one. I'll have to go back and give you an extra tally that you made a Doink and take one away from Beggs. Anyways, moving on to the North Division show. We're getting towards the end here. This was Goni versus Beggs. Better fantasy finish. Jerry Jeudy. Me. I had Jerry Jeudy. Ooh. And Beggs had T Higgins.
Oh, that's an absolute lock for me.
I think that one is going to be pretty close. I think that one's going to be a very good one.
I'm with Begley on this one.
That's a lock for me.
That's fine. Same show. Wayne versus Beggs. Better fantasy finish. Wayne took Deandre Johnson. Wayne loves Deandre Johnson.
Loves planting my flag, boy.
If DJ Moore was to retire tomorrow, Deandre Johnson would have his picture.
I love
Wayne's
DJs,
locker.
whether it's your first name or whether it's your initials. I love DJs.
Man. But he hates the Steelers offense, but loves Deontay. I don't get it.
It's a sight to behold. Beggs has T Higgins again, so Deandre Johnson versus T Higgins.
Money.
Beggs loves his T Higgins this year, man.
He's better. He was better than Jamar Chase last year, points per game.
And points per game. How'd they finish?
That
it can't be. Did T Higgins miss games or something? How did T Higgins
he missed 2
finish
games.
so much lower?
He missed 2 games.
So, but just dramatically lower in the point count.
When he played, he scored more fantasy points on average per game than Jamar Chase did. Yeah.
He didn't.
He did.
No.
You want to put a doink on it? I'm looking right at it.
I mean, I don't. I just know what the result was at the end of the year, that Jamar Chase outscored him by a pretty decent amount.
Actually, I am wrong. Jamar Chase did have he did have more fantasy points per game.
All right, I'll put that on the Doink
so
ledger.
where are you?
Thank you.
So what is this?
I don't understand how the math worked out.
That's on me. That's on me. I was thinking of another stat that I love for T Higgins this year.
Man.
That was on me. Jamar Chase scored more fantasy points per game. I was wrong.
Moving on.
I love it.
In the South Division show, Goney versus Wayne, Traylon Burks. I said that Traylon was going to be a wide receiver 40 or worse, and Wayne took 39 or better.
Oh my gosh. Is that the new slam dunk?
Nah.
Can you say it again for me, Goney?
Traylon Burks, where will he finish? Wide receiver 40 or worse, or wide receiver 39 or better? Ooh. It's a high number. I know it's a high number. That's fine. We went through the
I remember
the Mr. Akine, who was the number 2, who finished as like the wide receiver 87 last year or something. I don't know.
Yes.
He's not. Look, man, he's not AJ Brown. I know he's supposed to be AJ Brown, but he's not. So I stand by it. Wayne, any rebuttals?
No, that's easy money for me. I'm like literally, I couldn't be any less nervous about that one.
All right, fair enough. 2 more left on the ledger here. This one is a Goney versus Wayne versus Beggs in the award show.
Wait, is this Goney? Is this Goney versus all here, or is this just a weird
versus Wayne versus Beggs? We're all against each other. We're in a
one
pit,
winner out of us
fighting to the death.
Okay.
Yes, there's one winner on the award show. Who will have the most wins? We drafted these crappy teams. Wayne has the Bears and Panthers. He's a Bears and Panthers fan this year, which is a little weird being a Panthers fan because he's a Bucs fan. A little division rivalry there. Beggs took Team New York over here for some reason. He took the Giants and the Jets, which is ugly. But I can't really say too much because I have historic dominance squad of the Jaguars and Lions. So
I'm winning this one, right?
No, Bears worst in the league.
Maybe he might. I mean, if
Panthers
Baker Mayfield
Panthers
plays
are a
halfway
5-win
decent
team this year,
and Christian McCaffrey, like he plays all season, it's going to hinge on Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I think you're in the lead there, Goney. Personally,
I
think the Lions win 9 games. I mean, that's the pace horse.
I hope so. They're very. I'm looking for them to take a step forward this year for sure.
Would you like to put a doink that they win 9 games?
No,
man.
He just says things, man. It's frustrating.
No.
That's why I can't make so many doinks because
Wayne's
like
just
I try and just
for doinks, bro.
He is.
Well, no, like he said something, and I'm saying, why would he say something if he's not willing to back it up?
By principle, I can't take a doink with him right now, Goney. He's too eager. He's begging for it.
He is extra eager. Next time you go to his house, he's gonna be like, "Hey, man, give me like 3 ice cubes. Oh, you only have 2. You want to put a doink on it?"
Yeah, it's too eager.
Mad mob. I just try and take what they say at face value, and you can't do it apparently.
Man, ridiculous. This is how he tries to swindle you into doinks, really.
Mm-hmm.
The last one we have.
Get you to stand on your word, boy.
And I did. Last one we have here is another Goney versus Wayne versus Beggs, winner take all. We drafted players from these crappy teams, and whoever has the most fantasy points at the end of the year, I'll go ahead and read them out. Beggs.
I vaguely remember Begley having a pretty stout team.
It was stout.
Beggs' quarterback is Jared Goff. His running back, CMC, David Montgomery. His wide receivers, Brandon Cooks and Elijah Moore. His tight end is T.J. Hawkinson. And his 2 flex are Jamison Williams and Christian Kirk. Wayne, his quarterback was Davis Mills. His running backs were Saquon and Etienne. His wide receivers were Darnell Mooney and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Tight end was Uzama. Gross. That was a desperation pick.
Yeah.
Flex. His flexes were Michael Carter and James Robinson. Best of luck to you, sir. And then my quarterback was Justin Fields. My running backs were DeAndre Swift and Breece Hall. My wide receivers were DJ Moore and Kenny Galladay. Tight end was Cole Kmet, and my flexes were Damian Pierce and Kadarius Toney.
Listen, Matt, I'm realistic. I'm not liking my chances here.
There's some holes there. Yeah, I think Beggs has got to be the front runner on that one,
right? Squad, dude. I'd be happy if that was my starting lineup.
He got the number one pick because remember we did overall Doinks to get the first pick on the crappy team overall win total, and then we just snaked it back, so he got the first pick.
Yeah, I regret the Jamison Williams pick, knowing now he's going to miss 4 games. It's a little frustrating. So I do have a 0 in my flex spot for the first 4 weeks.
And as it breaks down, after I put them all in there, we each have 20 Doink bets in the ledger. After I updated the totals, we each have 20 Doink bets. So,
wow.
And what's crazy also is I have them listed as well. Goni versus Wayne, 9 Doink bets. Goni versus Beggs, 9 Doink bets. Wayne versus Beggs, 9 Doink bets. And then all of us,
wow,
2 to make our 29.
That's impressive.
It is.
And unplanned.
I like that also, like right before the season. Like it's just even keel, even playing field, all of us on the same. And, it's a good way to go into the season.
Hey, Wayne, do you want to make one more Doink real quick before the season starts?
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll come up with something here, man. We just got to have one more than Goni before the season starts.
Yeah, we're on the same page there. I'm down for that.
Man, you're just giving yourselves another opportunity to lose.
I'm the early favorite on the Doinks, I would say. I've got 2 duds in there. I've got the Mechie loss.
You've got 2 good ones, maybe. I think the rest are duds.
No, I've got the Mechie loss because Goni's riding the backs of lymphomas, which terrible human.
Look, man, if I'm going to get bamboozled and swindled, you're going to get bamboozled and swindled.
It's terrible. Just let it be known, if we ever have a Doink bet together where cancer cancels the Doink bet, I will always on my end cancel the Doink bet if one of your players has
that's highly questionable.
I said it on air. Wayne, on air, I'll go ahead and commit to that. But anyway.
Why would you do that?
I've got the Mechie loss, and then I've got the Raiders-Bills total points. I think that one's probably a loss. Maybe the ETN. But I'm probably, 120 juice to be the heavy favorite right now?
No.
Minus 120?
You're going to have the most losses.
Do you want to make a Doink bet right now with me that you won't finish first and Doink wins?
No, I've already promised Wayne my next Doink.
Okay, I'll make a Doink with you that you finish with the most losses.
I'll make a Doink with you, Wayne, that I beat you in terms of total Doink wins.
Mark it down, Gone.
There it is, Gone.
Oh, wow.
Suck it, Gone.
I really couldn't care less. Oh, man.
I love it. Yeah. T Higgins is going to put you gentlemen in the dirt, and I can't. I'm here for it.
He's not.
All right. What are these? What are the terms of the bet so I can put it in here?
I get more Doink wins than Beggs. Beggs is betting on himself. I'm betting on myself. And we're both betting more often than you, more frequently than you.
Indeed, we are.
All right. It's in the ledger. We're good to go.
I'm excited, man. That's a good ledger of Doinks. A lot of Treylon Burks in there, and a lot of Deontay Johnson for some reason.
And a lot of T Higgins. You love T Higgins, and he loves Deontay Johnson. That's just the flags are planted. The flags are planted.
DJ, I just got to tell you, I convinced them to love you, so they would never bet against you. So if you're like, why didn't he If he loves me so much, why didn't he bet for me? I tried, DJ Moore, but like I've convinced the world to love you, as they should and as you deserve.
All right.
Wow.
We appreciate that ode to DJ Moore, man. Take us home here.
All right, Mad Mob. We are closing in. This episode will be coming out very shortly. You can find us everywhere. I don't even know. TikTok, mad_ff_pod. Same on Twitter at mad_ff_pod. We're on Reddit, mad_ff_podcast. madffpodcast@gmail.com. We have a Facebook page, Mad Fantasy Football. Look us up there. YouTube, please. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. We're trying to get those analytics up a bit. Football season is around the bend, and we're hyped. Ton of content coming your way. It's going to be a good time.
So excited.
I cannot wait, dude.
Thursday starts the week, boys.
September 8th, Thursday. All right, Mad Mob, we're out. DJ Moore for MVP.
Later, boys.
See y'all.